What is going on, guys? Hope you are having a fantastic day today. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about time lapses, how to create a time lapse, and specifically where to find the time lapse setting in the Canon R5. So with all that being said, let's get into it. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, oh, I want to do a time lapse, they're cool. Where do I find the setting in my camera? And I just want to go out right now to do a time lapse. Well, I'm going to show you. First off, you're going to want to make sure your camera is in video mode, not photo mode. So go to the top of the camera, click mode, and then click info, and that switches between photo and video. Next, click the menu button, go to the first tab and go to page 5, and that's where you'll find the time-lapse setting. Most likely it'll probably be disabled if it's your first time doing a time-lapse. Now, this is important. If you've been shooting C-Log or C-Log 3, you're going to want to disable that because you're not going to be able to do a time-lapse with the C-Log setting enabled. So disable that, and then you should be able to enable the time-lapse feature, because at the moment, if you're on your camera and you've been shooting C-Log, you probably can't actually enable the time lapse. Now you're going to be brought to this screen where you can pretty much adjust all the settings for how you want your time lapse to look. So this is where you change the time interval, and you can also change the amount of photos it takes. So for example, if I set a 4-second interval and it takes 300 shots, then I get a 10-second time lapse and it will take 20 minutes to complete. If we change the time interval from 4 seconds to 2 seconds, then we're left with a 10-second time lapse and it will take roughly about 10 minutes. We can also change the amount of photos as well. So at the moment it's set to 300 photos. If we change that to 700 photos and it takes a photo every 2 seconds, it will be a 23-second time lapse and it'll roughly take 23 minutes to complete. Now, if you go down to where it says movie recording size, this is where you can change it from 4K to Full HD. I can't remember the options, but normally I should probably put this on silent. Rookie mistake. Normally I like to set it to 4K, so then it pretty much just gives me flexibility if I want to crop in to use it as an Instagram reel or a YouTube Shorts or a TikTok, so I'm not losing too much resolution when I'm cropping. Now once you've done all that, get out of the menu setting, and all you're going to do is hit the record button, and on your LCD screen it's going to come up with this: start, stop, movie record, and return to preview screen. Now all you have to do is hit the shutter button and that will start your time lapse. Can you hear it? So the settings that I generally use to create my time lapses, the shutter speed is generally between 2 seconds and maybe 8 seconds. The aperture is pretty much f/22 and the ISO is at 100. And now you're probably thinking, if you're doing a time lapse at like 2 seconds or at 8 seconds, you know, a lot of light's coming in, so your time lapse is going to be overexposed. So what I use is the Variable ND filter, which pretty much just cuts light out from coming to the camera sensor. Here's a quick 10-second time lapse that I took a couple of days ago when I was with my mate AJ down at Salix. I can't remember the exact settings that I set for the time lapse, but I'll figure that out and I'll just chuck them somewhere on the screen. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing and all that other stuff down below. With all that being said, stay safe, love you all, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Also, how sick is that light? This is a light that Nathan bought for the living room. And hang on. Like, how cool is that? Anyways,